already. So he's off Mufasa, he off the... I can't use him for the fantasy no more because my friend is off. So I gotta find somebody else. Gotta go back to Lenny Kravitz. It's like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron Pierre, Teyana. Aaron Pierre, that's Teyana.
Stop for a moment and imagine this. You wake up in the middle of the night. You reach your hand to the other side of the bed, only to feel cold sheets. Not because your partner got up to grab a glass of water, but because they are gone. Bags packed, keys taken, the door shut silently behind them without a single word of goodbye. That was the nightmare Teyana Taylor woke up to, and the story has captivated the world ever since. This wasn't the result of a dramatic argument. There was no shouting through the halls, no storming out after a heated fight. It was quiet, calculated, and in many ways, far more painful. Aaron Pierre, the man Teyana thought she was building a life with, decided to leave silently, leaving nothing behind except a short, gut-wrenching note. From the outside, their love story had seemed flawless. Red carpets, matching outfits, viral family moments, and interviews where they couldn't stop smiling at each other. Fans believed in them. They were supposed to be that couple proving that love could survive in the chaos of Hollywood. But behind the polished smiles and filtered posts, cracks were forming, cracks that no one could see until everything shattered overnight. For those who had followed Teyana for years, it was clear she never shied away from showing her authentic self. Whether on stage, in her music, or during interviews, she was transparent. That's why fans noticed when subtle changes started to appear. Cryptic captions hinting at exhaustion, long gaps between posts, smiles that didn't quite reach her eyes. People began to sense that something was off. Initially, many assumed she was stressed from work or juggling another project. But insiders whispered, it's much deeper than that. Aaron, too, had changed. Paparazzi shots caught him at public events, smiling for the cameras, but his body language told a different story. His protective gestures toward Teyana disappeared. His hand no longer rested lightly on her back. His gaze, once warm and lingering, now seemed distant. Fans noticed. Why does Aaron look so detached? One tweeted after their last joint appearance. Another fan commented, it's giving stranger energy. But no one, not even Teyana, could have anticipated how quickly everything would unravel. That night seemed normal. They shared dinner, laughed softly with their children, and watched a movie in the living room. Teyana fell asleep with her head on Aaron's shoulder, assuming tomorrow would be just another day. Yet while she slept, Aaron was wide awake. Quietly, he packed a duffel bag stashed in the closet, moving with the precision of a man on a mission. One by one, his belongings vanished. Shirts, shoes, cologne, even the watch Teyana had gifted him on his last birthday. Not a sound escaped. He didn't wake her. On the dresser lay a small folded note. 3 words, I need space. When Teyana woke, the house felt eerily empty. His side of the bed was void, the closet half bare. At first, she thought perhaps he had an early appointment, left in a rush. But then she saw the note. Her heart sank. Imagine reading that from someone you had trusted with your life. She sat in disbelief, gripping the paper as though it might burn, before tears finally overcame her. This wasn't just heartbreak. It was betrayal. The cruelty lay in the method. No argument, no conversation, no warning, just a quiet departure, leaving her to face the confusion alone. Within hours, fans sensed something had gone terribly wrong. Teyana posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black screen with the words, "Funny how people claim to love you, then disappear." That was enough to ignite social media. Hashtags like #PrayForTeyana began trending, with thousands speculating what had occurred. Some blamed Aaron for being heartless. Others questioned whether Teyana had driven him away. But everyone agreed on one thing. Something monumental had happened behind closed doors. Sources close to Teyana revealed she was blindsided. She hadn't anticipated anything like this. The shock deepened when reports surfaced that she cried for hours, replaying every moment, trying to pinpoint exactly when he had disengaged from their relationship. Was it weeks ago? Months? Had he ever been fully invested? Aaron, meanwhile, was spotted at a downtown hotel just a day later. Paparazzi swarmed him, shouting questions. Why'd you leave her? Are you done for good? Is there someone else? But Aaron remained silent, lowering his head, pushing through the crowd. His refusal to speak only fueled speculation. The rumors were relentless. Some suggested he couldn't handle the pressures of dating someone as famous and powerful as Teyana. Others whispered about a mysterious new woman in his life, allegedly someone he had been secretly seeing while living under Teyana's roof. There were even claims that he had simply broken emotionally, mentally, and chosen the coward's exit rather than confronting the truth. Fans were divided. One commenter under a blog post wrote, "Aaron is selfish. Real men don't just run away in the middle of the night." Another countered, "Maybe Teyana isn't the angel people think she is. Maybe he had his reasons." Yet through all the debates and gossip, one fact remained clear. Teyana was devastated. She stayed off social media for days, avoiding posts and stories entirely. When she eventually reappeared, her puffy eyes, forced smiles, and captions about healing and protecting her peace spoke volumes. Fans could feel her pain across the screen. Then came a revelation that deepened the wound. A friend of Aaron's revealed anonymously that this departure was not spontaneous. He had been planning his exit for weeks, moving small items out of the house so Teyana wouldn't notice. By the night he left, most of his essentials had already been removed. This premeditation made the betrayal even more painful. It wasn't a moment of weakness, it was calculated. He looked her in the eyes, smiled, held her hand, all while secretly preparing to abandon the life they had shared. Imagine the coldness of sleeping beside someone who had already decided to leave. That was Teyana's reality. Yet if there's one thing the world knows about Teyana Taylor, it's that she's a fighter. Slowly, she began to regain her footing. Paparazzi captured moments of her walking hand in hand with her children, shielding them from the chaos. Friends said she cried at night but kept moving forward during the day, leaning on family for support. The lingering question remained: why did Aaron leave? Was it the pressures of her fame? Another woman? Or did he simply lack the courage? To be honest, for now, no one knows the full truth. His silence speaks volumes. Fans continued to rally behind Teyana, flooding her comments with love and reminders that she deserves better. Perhaps the most painful part of this story is that the heartbreak wasn't dramatic, loud, or messy. Sometimes the deepest pain comes from silence, from someone quietly slipping away who once felt like home. One day they hold your hand through the storms, and the next, they're gone without explanation, without closure, leaving only a haunting stillness where love once resided. Teyana didn't see it coming, or maybe she did. In the smallest of ways. Late replies, distant eyes, fleeting touches that no longer lingered. She told herself he was just tired, busy, or preoccupied. She held on to love, hoping it could survive minor coldness. What she didn't realize was that he had already let go long before she knew she was holding on alone. And that, perhaps, is the essence of heartbreak. It isn't just the fights or words shouted in anger. It's the words left unsaid, the long pauses, the quiet withdrawals, the absence of promise forever. It's waking up one day to realize you were the only one still fighting, still believing, still hoping. Now the world is left to wonder, why did it end? Was it something she did? Was he suffering in ways we'll never know? Will Teyana ever share her side? Or has she buried it too deep, too wounded to revisit those memories? And what about Aaron? Will he ever come forward and tell his truth, or will he remain silent, leaving speculation to fill the void? It's easy to assume we know the story by watching red carpet photos or curated Instagram posts. But behind every smile and staged moment lie cracks that no one sees. Quiet arguments, lonely nights, broken promises. Perhaps that is why this story resonates so deeply. It wasn't loud. It wasn't messy. It ended quietly, and sometimes that silent ending is the cruelest of all. In a world of flashing lights, cameras, and constant noise, silence becomes deafening. And maybe that is the hardest part, not that it ended, but that it ended without confrontation, explanation, or closure. This is the story of Teyana Taylor's heartbreak, a calculated departure, a silent betrayal, and the journey of picking up the pieces afterward. It's about resilience, strength, and the quiet courage required to continue loving in a world that sometimes abandons you when you least expect it.